In the world of tech, precision is everything. And believe it or not, the difference between the system stores data and the system is storing data can be huge. It can mean the difference between business as usual and a critical live incident. Today, we're going to break down the simple, powerful grammar that drives clear technical communication, the present and past tenses. Let's jump right in.
Now, the concepts we're covering today aren't just abstract grammar rules. These are the foundational tools you need in any professional tech environment. They'll help you communicate way more effectively, whether you're writing documentation, updating your team on Slack, or reporting a bug.
So, let's start with a really basic statement you might see in system documentation. The system stores the data securely. This is the simple present tense, and what it's telling us is a fundamental truth about how the system works. It's not something happening for a limited time, it's just what it does. Always. Okay, now watch what happens when we make one tiny change. The system is storing the data now. See that? Suddenly, we've gone from a general fact to a live action report. This is describing something in progress, the kind of thing you'd see on a real-time monitoring dashboard or in a system log. All right, let's jump into the past. The system stored the data yesterday. This is the simple past. The action is finished, it's over, it's complete. This is exactly the kind of precise language you need for an incident report or a change log to describe an event that's already happened.
And finally, we have this. The system was storing the data when the connection failed. This is the past progressive. And this one tells a much more interesting story. It sets the scene, right? An action was in progress, and then something else happened that interrupted it. Getting this right is absolutely critical for figuring out the root cause of a problem. So why do these little changes make such a big difference? Let's break it all down.
First up, let's completely master the present tense. We're going to look at how you describe both those permanent, routine functions of a system and the live, in-the-moment actions you take when you're, say, debugging some code.
Okay, we start with the simple present. I want you to think of this as your baseline tense. It describes the fundamental truths of your world, the facts, the scheduled jobs, and the core functions that are just always true.
You can see from these examples how the simple present is really the backbone of technical docs and planning. A fact like Python supports object-oriented programming is a permanent truth. A routine like the script runs every night is essential for defining how your automated systems work. It establishes that reliable, repeatable behavior. And now for its partner, the present progressive. This is your live action tense. You pull this one out when you're describing what's happening right this second, or for those temporary activities and projects that are currently underway. You can feel how critical this is for status updates, right? Telling your team, "I am fixing the bug," communicates immediate, ongoing action. And saying the team is building a new dashboard this quarter defines a temporary project. It's what you're focused on now, not a permanent part of your job. This table right here makes the difference crystal clear. The developer works on mobile apps. That describes their general role or specialty. It's a state. But the developer is working on a mobile app now. That describes their current task. It's an action. That tiny change communicates a world of difference in a daily stand-up meeting.
Okay, so we've got a handle on the present. Now let's apply that very same logic, that simple versus progressive distinction, to the past. This is absolutely key for accurate reporting, whether you're closing a ticket or writing up a postmortem.
The simple past is for anything that is done, finished, completed. The event had a clear beginning and a clear end, and it's all in the past. This is the official tense of change logs, incident reports, and that beautiful done column on your project board.
Every single one of these examples points to a specific, concluded event. The server stopped at 2 a.m. That's a precise data point you need for an incident report. We launched the dashboard last week. That marks a completed milestone. There's no gray area here. The work is finished.
But what if the action wasn't just a single point in time? What if it was an ongoing process that was happening in the past? Well, that's where the past progressive shines. Its main job is to set the scene, to describe a background action that was happening when something else occurred.
This slide illustrates it perfectly. You have this long, ongoing action. I was checking the logs. And then, bam! The sharp, sudden interruption. The alert appeared. Using the past progressive here gives us crucial context for troubleshooting. It tells everyone what was going on right before the incident happened.
All right, we've got the 4 core tenses down. Now let's level up our skills with a few advanced cases. Mastering these little details is what takes your communication from just competent to truly excellent and precise.
First up, a really important concept, state of verbs. These verbs describe a state of being, not an action. Think of words like know, believe, understand, or contain. They're about states, not activities. And because they aren't actions, we almost never use them with that ing form. You wouldn't say the database is containing the user data. You just say it contains the data.
Now, here's where it gets nuanced. Some verbs can actually be both stative and active. Take the verb think. On the left, I think this design is better, is expressing a static opinion. But on the right, I am thinking about a new solution. Well, that describes the active, ongoing mental process of problem solving. The tense you choose completely changes the meaning.
And here's a pair that trips up so many people. Raise versus rise. The rule is actually pretty simple. Raise needs an object. Someone or something has to raise something else. Like the admin raised the storage limit. But rise happens all on its own. The system load rose suddenly. See? No object needed. Here's a fun one. This is a very human use of the progressive tense. Normally, we pair always with the simple present for routines, but when you use it with the progressive tense, like in, my laptop is always freezing, it becomes a tool for complaining. It adds emotion and really expresses your frustration about a problem that keeps happening.
Okay, let's bring it all home. I don't want you to think of these as 4 separate random grammar rules. Instead, I want you to see them as a complete toolkit that lets you describe just about any technical situation with total clarity. This table right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. Simple present for the routine facts. Present progressive for what's happening this very moment. Simple past for actions that are totally finished. And past progressive for an action that got interrupted. Each tense is the right tool for telling the right part of the story. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. You now have the toolkit to describe system behavior, report on progress, and detail incidents with a whole new level of accuracy. The next time you write an update, file a bug report, or document a new feature, just pause for a second and think. Which tense is going to communicate my meaning most precisely? How will you use this to make your work clearer and even more effective?